Ever pressed a little plastic snowflake against a frosty window, the suction cup holding tight while the afternoon sun made it sparkle? For millions of families, that wasn't just decoration, it was magic. And it all began in the 1960s when the world of Christmas changed forever.
This spot right here is perfect for the green one.
That looks wonderful, son.
It truly is starting to look like Christmas.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright.
But the post-war plastic revolution story begins after World War II. America and the UK were booming. Suburbs popped up, families grew, and consumer culture flourished. With it came the age of plastics. Suddenly, factories could mass-produce acrylics, vinyl, and polyethylene cheaply and at scale. What used to be hand-cut ornaments or glass baubles could now be churned out in thousands, perfectly identical, perfectly shiny. And the holidays? They got a makeover. Shimmering plastic icicles dangled from trees. Sparkling snowflakes with glitter, pressed inside, stuck to windows. Plastic wreaths promised you'd never have to sweep pine needles again. Even Christmas trees themselves went synthetic. Aluminum trees, lit with color wheels that cast blue, red, and gold shadows, became the centerpiece of many living rooms. It was modern. It was glamorous. It was space-age. And it was very, very 1960s. Fun fact. In the 1967 movie The Graduate, there's a famous line, "Plastics. There's a great future in plastics." That wasn't just a joke. It was the reality of the decade. You can't separate these plastic snowflakes from the cultural mood of the time. The 1960s were powered by the space race, satellites, astronauts, and the dream of a shiny future. Homes reflected that optimism. Kitchens glowed with pastel appliances. Cars gleamed in candy apple reds and turquoise blues. And Christmas followed suit. Instead of deep Victorian reds and greens, you'd see icy blues, bubblegum pinks, silvers, and whites. These colors weren't just pretty, they were futuristic, signaling that your home was as modern as a rocket launch. Even the White House caught on. Jackie Kennedy decorated her iconic trees with pastels, angels, and ornaments that looked sleek and sophisticated. Elvis Presley had a famous white tree in Graceland, shimmering with red ornaments. Suddenly, a plastic snowflake wasn't cheap. It was stylish. It meant you were keeping up with the times. But the magic of plastic snowflakes wasn't just in what you bought at the store. It was also in what you made at home. Craft culture exploded in the 1960s. Women's magazines like Better Homes and Gardens and Family Circle dedicated entire issues to Christmas crafts. Church bazaars sold handmade plastic ornaments. Families gathered around the dining table, not just to eat, but to create. Plastic kits made it easy. You could buy sheets of acrylic, cut out snowflakes, sprinkle glitter, and glue them together. Some even came with suction cups, so you could stick them directly to your windows. And in schools, kids would make paper or plastic snowflakes every December. Teachers lined classroom windows with shimmering shapes, transforming even gray winter mornings into a carnival of light. For families mailing gifts to soldiers or relatives abroad, a plastic snowflake tucked in the package was more than a decoration. It was a piece of home. Lightweight, unbreakable, and sparkling with love. By the mid-1960s, plastic snowflakes weren't just a craft item. They became part of pop culture itself. Celebrity homes shone in glossy magazines like Better Homes and Gardens or featured on TV. Variety shows sparkled with these synthetic wonders. On the Andy Williams Christmas show, you'd often see shimmering backdrops that mirrored the same glittery snowflakes being sold in Woolworths. Even a Charlie Brown Christmas made sly commentary on the era's obsession with shiny, artificial decorations versus the humble real tree. This was the space age of holiday decor, modern, mod, and unapologetically gleaming. A family with glittery snowflakes in their window wasn't just festive. They were fashionable, in step with a nation obsessed with progress and new materials. At the same time, crafting culture bloomed. Girl Scouts in school classrooms turned plastic snowflake making into winter projects, with children proudly hanging their creations on classroom windows. Women's magazines, like Ladies' Home Journal, sold DIY ornament kits, often advertised under slogans like "Better Living Through Chemistry," inviting homemakers to experiment with acrylics, tinsel, and plastic lace. Families would gather around the kitchen table to snap together DIY kits, and kids would argue over who got to press the suction cup snowflake onto the prime living room window. Decades later, those same snowflakes are rediscovered in attic boxes, their glitter still intact. Today, Etsy sellers revive the look with handmade snowflake stickers and ornaments, while collectors hunt vintage originals on eBay, proof that the sparkle of the 1960s never really faded. It just transformed into nostalgia you can now hold in your hands. Over time, these plastic snowflakes became family heirlooms. They didn't shatter like glass. They didn't wilt like greenery. They survived year after year, taped into scrapbooks or rediscovered in dusty Christmas boxes in the attic. For some, pulling out the snowflakes each December became as emotional as opening a stocking. They weren't fragile treasures. They were tough, cheerful survivors of decades of holidays. So what does this have to do with stickers? Everything. Today, sticker artists and collectors are pulling directly from these mid-century designs. The geometric snowflakes, bold pastel colors, glitter textures, and suction cup circles are all being reborn as stickers. Imagine a sticker sheet with icy blue snowflakes edged in silver, bubblegum pink stars with glitter overlays, and retro fonts spelling out "Merry Christmas" in swirly 1960s letters. That's not just cute, it's history reimagined. It's easy to roll your eyes at plastic today. We think of it as cheap, disposable, even harmful. But back in the 1960s, it represented hope. It meant progress, modernity, and a little sparkle in the everyday. Those plastic snowflakes weren't just decorations. They were frozen pieces of optimism, pasted onto windows across America and the UK, reminding families that the future really could shine. And maybe that's why we love bringing them back as stickers. Because not everything fake is tacky. Some of it's